Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious. I'm your host, Caleb Perez, here with co-host Alex and PodCat, aka our unnamed kitten that Val wanted. So now we have. Yeah, that's basically his story. We got him for free at one of the...
Wait, you got him for free?
Mm-hmm. Because he's too young to sell because he needs to be bottle fed. Even though I think he's old enough to start eating hard food. So I think we kind of just stole him.
That's kidnapping?
Kidnapping.
See, I was about to say that, but I think technically kid still works.
Yeah, I guess that is true. But yeah, that's his story. Now he lives here. Kind of.
Why is he so weird looking?
How do you mean?
Kittens never look cute. Is that a controversial opinion?
Kinda.
I don't think they're cute.
He's just kind of scrawny.
A little bit.
Probably because he's only been on this earth for like 3 weeks.
You know what's crazy? I'll outlive him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true.
You know that we've outlived the last 20 years, most dogs that have ever been born have already died?
That's true. We always outlive our pets.
No, but like,
so
the species of dogs, like the last 20 years worth of dogs that have existed are probably dead.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Hate to see it happen.
You really do, man. You really do. I'm now looking at the cat.
Yeah, he's just here.
PodCat, what are you doing? What the fuck does that mean? Can we replace him for the sound guy?
Replace him for the... I think he might be the worst sound guy.
Why?
He might...
What is he doing?
Actively disrupt the equipment. At least the other sound guy just sits there.
Love you, Spotify listeners, but I'm currently petting the cat.
He could be the sound guy if I trained him.
Why don't you?
I don't know. I just thought of that now. He might be too little to understand, but someday he might. I mean, if they can train bees to find explosives, I think you can train a cat to...
They train bees to find explosives?
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
All right, hold on. Caleb with the news time. It's back, baby. I don't have an article to read, but it's back. They've trained bees. Like, basically, they winter soldier program bees. They, like, capture them from the nest, hold them in a box with just their head sticking out. And then over, like, a series of, like, I think it's hours... They
let it roam free among the couch. That's the joke.
They get the bees to associate the taste of a sweet taste with the smell of an explosive. So once the bee is trained, they can send that bee out, and once it smells the explosive, it'll fly straight to the explosive, thinking it's gonna get sweets, and that's how they find the bombs. And they're saying that's gonna be more cost effective than using bomb dogs.
So you're just telling me this because they don't want to train a fucking dog?
Yeah, I mean, if it's cheaper,
I guess
that doesn't make effective.
Would it be more effective because how little there are?
You know, it might be more effective because you can train a whole colony of bees within a day to find a bunch of different types of explosives, but you can only train you have to have one person training one dog for like weeks.
That is so weird.
So yeah, I guess
does that make dogs less intelligent than bees? How does that work? How bees are weird?
Because I think the bees, it's not exactly their intelligence; it's more they're just getting forced into associating. They're just getting forced into bee slavery, which they already were. They just have a new queen now.
The bomb defusal man.
Under new management. But yeah.
More like under new management.
I saw that the other day, and I thought that was very crazy.
You know,
also interesting.
You know what was weird? So I've been playing Street Fighter as of late, and we'll tie it back into the bees. Give me a second here.
We'll tie it back to the bees.
We will. And I'm going to try Street Fighter, right? I don't have a lot of time to do it over the week. I think probably during this week, I'll just probably try to see if I can get to gold tier. But Street Fighter 6 is hard. Street Fighter in general is hard because of the footsie and neutral game that you have to play, and you have to understand a whole new fighting game. Because don't get me wrong, I'm an anime fighter. I like to do mix-ups. I was an asshole in Guilty Gear Strive with Milia. It's a total dick. And I ended up being in the 8th or 9th tower. I think I've told the podcast that's apparently where like some of the high tier players were. And I was like, damn, I'm pretty good at Guilty Gear. I start playing Street Fighter. Fuck, I suck. God damn.
I've always noticed that it's really hard to, when a new fighting game comes out, once you've played a bunch of different fighting games, once you get to this next fighting game, it always takes a while to get used to it.
I think by the end of this season, when like Akuma comes out, I'll be really good. I hope so. It's probably the only game I'm going to play. But when I'm trying to figure out here, I'm like, damn, fuck, this is hard as fuck. So I've been like trying to look up guides and stuff and try to see if like get a good time out of it. See what other people can teach me, because in life you are always the student and never the master.
It's true.
So with that in mind, I look up Max videos and just see what he's doing, how he's playing, Maximilian dude, and see what he's doing and stuff. And eventually I kind of get bored of it and I look up a Mario 64, his playthrough on it, and how weird it gets.
Oh my gosh.
And so at one point he looks a video on, I think it's negative pressing or negative edging.
Yep.
And it's the video with 6 million views, and that's 23 minutes. It is a 23-minute video explaining how if you just press the button before the game starts, you can press it 2 more times and get somewhere special, and basically like fucking jump around hardcore really fast. And how the video is played out is they start bringing up parallel worlds, and how to rewrite your fucking GameCube, and how the GameCube can become a time machine. It's just like, what? And like somebody in chat goes, and it's in Max's video, it's like, this guy could be a doctor.
This guy could be a doctor, but instead he's doing Mario 64 speed runs.
Yeah, and like I thought to myself sitting down, I'm all like, what if we got all the speedrunners to figure out like the universe's
quantum? They actually could figure out quantum physics.
Because they literally break down the GameCube. They make it a theoretical time machine. Yeah, to get like 2 frames more.
That's so like they literally
all because they're and in the video I didn't know this was a thing. Do you know in Super Mario World, pressing the certain buttons in Super Mario World will cause the game to reprogram itself?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. You're telling me nerds figured out, if we press it this way, I can reprogram the fucking save file? Get these motherfuckers on quantum physics now.
What's hilarious too is literally Mario 64, to cut down maybe like 2 seconds of time, they create 132 parallel universes within the game.
Yeah.
Just to find the one universe where they can slip through the area to save
Caleb isn't bullshitting,
seconds. By the way. It's true. I watched the video. It's so funny because it's ridiculous.
They quite literally are doing Avengers level Doctor Strange planning to get 2 more frames, 2 more seconds.
2 seconds of time is saved for a Mario 64 run.
Speedrun, bro.
And they build it up for 32 hours. The speed was that the amount of time that I remember? 32 hours of.
I didn't watch the actual video. I just watched Max thing, and by the end of it, he's like, I just wanted to jump fast.
Because I watched Max's thing too. I'm pretty sure he highlights the part.
Is he licking his butthole?
He's just cleaning himself. Oh. But I remember him highlighting the part where like there's a point in the game where you have to like be walking up a wall a certain way, and you have to be like stuck in that position for 32 hours building up speed. And during that time, you're also creating parallel universes. And then by the time you jump, you just teleport somewhere. It's like, first of all, how'd you figure that out? Second of all, why would you even need to do that?
There has to be a more efficient way. There guarantee is. And it's just like, coming back to the bees thing, if a motherfucker can reprogram bees to smell bombs, there's no fucking way. Just grab all the speedrunners on Earth and just be like, figure out how the fucking universe works. Whoever gets there first gets ass for life. You get a button, and you just fucking the hottest girl in the world just shows up, and you can do whatever you want. And that's the motivation. We would figure out God if he exists or not in a weekend. In a weekend, we would figure it out.
They're like, so we actually teleported through 37 different variants of ourselves to be. They're just Kang the Conqueror at that point.
Yeah, no, we would get a Kang the Conqueror speedrunner.
Have Kang the Conqueror.
He'd just show up and be like, yeah, we figured out the universe. So it was like, okay, here's your button. I don't need the button no more.
That's our Earth's version of Kang the Conqueror, is just a gaming speedrunner.
Like, I was like, what the fuck kind of rabbit hole did I find myself in? And then, like, your story just reminded me, because I'm just all like, why? For like 2 more frames? Why?
It's insane. It's actually insane. Which I guess is a good segue, talking about speedrunners maybe not choosing the correct career path. Yeah, I actually came up with a topic for today's episode. A thing we haven't done in a while, kind of a story time episode. I guess I'll just reveal the topic. It's I messed up. That's the kind of title point. I messed up.
You messed up?
No, like basically just stories of times that we've messed up.
Zoom
Leave
in.
him alone. He's giving himself a bath.
Wow, bro, he's going crazy.
I guess I'll share this story of like, just to give you an idea of like a I screwed up moment. So about a year ago, a little over a year ago, when Mariah was doing her gender reveal for Angie, no one knew the baby's gender at the time. She just got back from the doctors to get the revealed or the gender known. And so she had a little bag from the doctor, like congratulating her on the baby's gender. Nobody knew, I think, except for her. And so I get home from work and I'm starving. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for food to be done or something. I'm hungry. And then I recall, I can't remember who it is, but I think it was Mariah or somebody said that, like, after they went to the appointment, that Mariah had a bag full of candies. Actually, I think it was Mariah and my sister who went. So the mom and grandma knew the baby's gender and nobody else did. And so I think my sister was making everyone lunch, but I was too hungry to wait. And I heard that there's candy inside this bag.
Fucked up the candy bag.
And how we've learned over the years, working minimum wage jobs, that you just become a scavenger for food.
You do.
And when you get an opportunity to find something delicious, you will take that chance and eat it.
Real.
And without thinking, I reached into that bag and all I saw was pink candies. And my brain at that moment just clicked exactly what I just did. And I was like, oh no, I just screwed up. I was not supposed to see this.
Did it really matter though?
Not really. I didn't tell anyone, but I knew. And also guessed the baby's gender correctly beforehand, so.
Okay, see, that's cheating. That's the bad part.
The bad part is I should have not seen that. That was for not my eyes.
How does it feel to know that you had to hold that burden in for half a day?
It's kind of like a week, because they'd had the reveal party.
Oh, how does it feel to know that you had to carry that burden for a week?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was. I think it was easier than keeping the secret of what happened in the Avengers movie.
I was just thinking about that. Oh my fucking God.
I actually think it was easier because genuinely the only people who would have cared to ask, I like keeping secrets from, because like my mom always asks what happens in movies, and I will not tell her what, because I want her to be surprised. So she already knew if she was going to ask me what the baby's gender was, I just wasn't going to tell her.
It's a growth.
It's a growth.
A grill?
It's a grill.
I love grills. Just chosen me. No. Oh, fuck. He's attached to my pants.
It's a Ford F-150. But yeah, that's kind of our topic for today. Just stories where in the moment or later on you just realized, I screwed up.
When I left the vagina. Damn. What'd I win?
What? Do you have a story behind that you'd like to share to the general public?
It's like that episode of Family Guy where Stewie's a TIE fighter pilot as a sperm in the vagina. And I've made it to the egg, but I was trapped for 9 months. And then one day the man in white came out and took me out to that eternal prison. Or something. I forgot how it went. I was making a really dumb joke. He's licking his butthole again. You're going crazy, man.
So do you have an actual story?
Do I have an actual story? See, you asked me these questions in the moment, and I can't.
You can't think of one. I just gave you a whole story.
I'm thinking. That I regret.
You don't have to regret it. Just like a funny story that you...
Funny? They're never funny to me.
Well, if it's not funny, it can still be shared. Just any story that you're just like, oh, I messed up.
I messed up. Fuck. I'm blanking. No.
Oh, no.
Fuck. Shut up, nerd. I can't think of one right now. I really can't.
Nothing?
I know I have a few, but I can't think of any. Maybe the one time I fought Godzilla in the parking lot at a Denny's. I think that was a dream, though.
I think that was a dream, too, because I don't think you could fight Godzilla and live.
It wasn't actually like Godzilla. It was a guy in like a Godzilla costume. But
guy in a costume.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't really think of anything, man. I'm really blanking here. Maybe like... Maybe like when I was in Mr. Bigwood's class the first year, sometimes I would like totally zone out, and they'd ask, like, sometimes they'd ask for criticism, and everybody had to go. Sometimes I'd be like, "Fuck, what just happened? I zoned out. I don't know what's happening." And I'd give criticism, and I remember this one time, I don't remember the kid's name or whatever, and I gave this criticism to him, and he just took it for the whole fucking year. I don't even remember what I said. Like, he's just like, "Yeah, man, I gotta work on that. That was the greatest advice you ever gave me." Thank you.
You're like, I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention for shit. I think it was something about like the use of like vocabulary, try to broaden it a little bit. That's about it. I'm like, fuck. Like, this guy had like this tremendous point in his life. Like, yeah, man, like I gotta like figure out how to talk better and like use and articulate my words correctly. And I'm just like, yeah,
You right.
Well, that's about it. I can't think of anything. You're gonna talk. Watch, by the end of the podcast, I'm gonna go,
oh yeah, that one. We just ended the episode.
So you got any other stories, Caleb?
Oh, now I have to think.
See, it's hard when you're...
It's hard. I was just thinking about...
Any time I interacted with any of my crushes ever.
Do you have any specific stories? I'll share a specific story if you want to share a specific story.
I'm trying to remember one.
Okay, I'll share this one then.
Should I name drop?
You don't have to name drop, but...
Should I, though, for the lulz?
Sure, I'll bleep it out if it's too much.
No, but not even that. That's not even really like a good story. It's just like it was a 2-second interaction, so I don't know. Fuck. No, I don't think any of them are really good because it's just me just being like, like a dork. Oh, no, man. I can't really think of any again. It's kind of hard fucking figuring out things in the fucking moment.
Yeah.
The fucking Xbox is on.
It's always on.
I know. I just keep on looking at it.
Here's an I screwed up, a short little one. I screwed up by letting people use my Xbox in the living room on my profile because I have my YouTube logged in on there.
And now YouTube fucked.
Now my YouTube recommendations are literally, I don't like, it's not even
Bluey
anything
and cars.
It literally is. It's little kids, like baby shows. My mom watches like psychics and mediums. My dad watches, I don't even know what. I think he watches mostly ghost stuff, but that's okay because I I do enjoy watching ghost stuff.
Ghost enjoyers.
But like, it's just the most random stuff popping up on my YouTube. And it's like, this is even anything I watch anymore.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me of a story. It's similar. I had left my Google account signed in at my grandpa's place. Mm-hmm. And over the next few days, all I remember is it'd be like anime video, truck video, semi video. And I'm like, why is there so many semi videos? I'm not watching this shit. And then I go to my watch history and I'm like, the fuck is there 3 different videos of 40-minute length all watched about trucks, semis. And then I go, oh fuck.
I left it logged in.
And I go to my brother and I show up and like grandpa's watching truck videos on my account and my brother is dying on the floor. He's like, what the fuck? Like the recommended would be like, death battles or like fucking like anime stuff.
Like stuff you would actually watch.
And then it's just like, a red semi truck, how to fix. And I'm just like,
wait a minute.
This doesn't make any sense.
I remember the good days of my YouTube recommendations when it was like scorpion versus tarantula fight. See what wins. Or man versus food. It's always something I actually enjoy watching.
I remember back in the day, what did I like to watch? I used to love stop motions.
Oh, yeah.
Stop motions were fire.
Those are good. Those are always good.
Fire, what was it, like Fire Fist?
Ooh, back when I was like, I think like 6 or 7, a lot of people were doing like Lego stop motion videos.
Oh yeah, a lot. It was huge.
Man, they were so fun to watch though.
Like then I'm like, dude, this shit's peak cinema. And as an adult, I'm like, wow, these are cringe.
But I mean, at the same time, you gotta respect the amount of effort they put into those
13-year-olds went crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now 14-year-olds are making whole segments for the Spider-Verse.
That's
movie.
true. That is true.
I feel bad for that kid though.
Why?
Because he's already set up for failure.
How?
Because he has that talent, and everybody just gave him praise for it. And I know how when those pyramids are built like this, instead of you grow it out like that and like this, they just kind of topple over. Well, it's usually what happens. Like YouTubers, they get big overnight. Over the next few years, they just go.
It depends on the kind of person he is.
Yeah, but he's 14. It all goes to their head. That's what usually happens. I kind of feel bad for him. I hope it doesn't happen.
And again, just depends on who he is.
It could be like the Fire Fist guy when he made all the Batman stuff. Legal Bat. I think that's his name. I think it's either Fire Forest or something like that. And he turned out pretty good with all of his Lego stuff, and eventually became fucking cinematic masterpieces at one point. And I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I saw that trailer he did. I'm like, this is really good. My second thought, oh God, this could be bad. I hope nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fun.
I hope.
But you really don't have any screw up moments that you can
I definitely do. They're just blanking at me right now.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, any time during a test when I had 4 B's in a row.
Oh. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty obvious one.
You know what? I don't have any specific stories on this, but I know this would happen a lot where you'd be taking like a test. And I think this is a very common occurrence where you're taking a test and you finish and you turn it in and you sit back down and you're like, man, I finished that quick. And then you see people doing a side that you didn't do on the test. Like there's like a very, very back page that you would have never thought. And you're like, oh shoot.
Fuckity wuckity.
Gotta go back.
Hey, I didn't finish the other side of that test.
See, well, it's always good though, is the teachers always let me pull my test out of the pile and do that answer. They trusted my trustworthiness. I don't know the word, but they trusted me to not cheat.
I don't think that ever happened to me. Well, that I'm remembering, but there probably was a chance where like there was a backside during homework. That's what then.
Yeah.
Homework definitely
for sure.
Test, I don't think so for me. I think what's another good screw up story that I got? Fuck. I think anytime I was put on the spot, Like during ever, this is just universal with all these stories. It's like, oh, you're the center of attention. Now dance, monkey. It's just like,
Dance, monkey.
It's like, what am I doing? I don't want to be here. Or anytime I said anything cringy.
Oh yeah.
It's just be like, oh man, I can't think of anything. Says the stupidest shit ever.
Oh.
Oh, I made it worse. Fuck me.
No, I look like an idiot.
Real. That's most of my stories, I would say. Like that generally encapsulates all of them. It's just like, oh, I said something stupid. Now I must regret this life decision forever till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Every night.
I have a couple stories from when I was younger that come to mind now.
What?
Which one do you want to hear first? The
second one.
Okay. So when I was 6, my mom first started getting those Scentsy candles, you know, the ones that like have the wax cubes and they melt from the bottom. And so I was very intrigued by this.
You put your whole fucking hand in the wax.
I didn't put my whole hand in the wax, but I did start playing in it where I dip my fingers in it and I'd make like little finger caps. And I thought that was super cool. So I'd be making a bunch of little finger caps. And at one point I got a balloon and I was like, man, if I can make a bunch of finger caps, can you imagine the huge little ball I can make on this balloon? So I get the balloon and I put it into the wax and it just explodes wax all over my hand. And man, did that hurt.
Why?
I don't know. I just wanted to see what would happen.
Yes, we know PodCat. He's weird. But like,
you can't act like you didn't do things like that when you were a kid.
I just usually put my thumb in it and been like, yo, this is so cool. But then I'd also have the thought of if I put my finger in long enough, I'll die. So I never went anything. That's why I never went crazier with it. It'd be like, dink. Whoa, look at it. I got wax on my finger. I'm so cool. I'm a wizard.
Strong enough to have it all. Too weak to take it. Or whatever the Green Goblin quote is.
The quote should be, no, now that I look back at it, was he really the villain of the story?
Yes.
Was he, though?
Yes.
I think Norman was right. Capitalism.
Norman was right.
He kind of was. Okay, hold on. Just because I'm rewatching those Sam Raimi movies, do you realize how fucked up it is that like his company just like stole all his money?
Oh no, he was right in the first one for sure.
Oh yeah,
I was more thinking about No Way Home.
No, I was thinking about the Sam Raimi movies. I'm like, no, wait here. He should totally kill all those business executives.
I think for sure he. I won't say he's right, but his emotions were justified.
Okay, well, I also have to say this.
He was very desperate to save his company.
I also have to say this. He also had a split personality, which made things worse.
Yeah.
But that's kind of fucked up how they were like, you have to leave, Norman. You know, they never gave a
Norman.
Yeah, you know why they never actually gave a reason why. It was just kind of like, we don't like you.
It had something to do with like the financial decisions he was making.
Yeah,
like the stuff, like the goblin glider itself as like a weapon that he was like, and all basically everything to create the Green Goblin was his idea that he thought was a really good idea to put into the military and wanted more testing on it, and they wanted to scrap the project completely.
But they never gave a reason why.
Because it wasn't making progress the way they wanted to. That's why he took the super soldier serum is what I'll call it. He took
they never get that a name.
He took that himself and proved that serum wasn't ready to go out to the public.
You nerd. You just sneezed, but like yeah, but no, like in retrospective, like none of the crazier plot details aside, it's like why. It was slightly justified. You didn't need to disintegrate them. It's still funny as fuck though for memes. But like, damn.
I think that's what makes that first movie, in my opinion, the best of the trilogy, because it really shows like the like the yin and yang of the two of with great power comes great responsibility.
It's the quintessential like. It's like the hero and the villain are the same, but they take two different paths.
Yeah.
Like that's like what it works. That's like the perfect definition of it.
Yep.
Kitty.
Still no screw up stories. Do I have to share another one?
I don't got anything, man. I really don't.
Matt, I don't know.
Giving my opinions online.
Giving your opinions online.
Then getting
that
ratioed.
was a mistake.
Yeah. No, that would be dumb. I really got nothing, dude. Fuck.
Well, just share it. If it doesn't matter if it's dumb, just share it.
They're not even nothing. Good. They last like 2 seconds.
You have nothing right now.
I have nothing. I'm out. Like I got maybe like the time. Oh, you want to know one?
Okay, give it.
Okay. So this was back during like sophomore year.
Okay.
I think. And I went out with, I couldn't even fucking remember. I didn't go out. This was supposed to be a friend thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just going out with a girl, not going out, just friend thing. And I'm like, to myself, I'm like, what the fuck am I actually doing here? Like,
where am I?
Like, I agreed to this, and I have no idea exactly what I'm doing. Like, we went out to eat, and we were talking about things, and blah, 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 and a whole bunch of other bullshit. And eventually, the night went fine. But to myself, the entire time, I was like, why? Why did I go on this?
Why did I take this escapade?
That's what it was. Like, I'm not trying to get into details because I don't want to, like, share too much because I think some personal information on her part was said. I was just listening the entire time. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, why did I do this? Like, I barely even know you. I have you in one class. I barely talk to you on Snapchat. What is going on here? And, like, she clearly said during, like, some part during this, like, oh, this isn't a date, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And stuff. And I'm just like, why the fuck am I here? You barely know me. Why do you go out with somebody that you barely know? I was, like, so confused. And, like, in retrospective, it was just one giant waste of time. I'm like, what the fuck's happening here? Like, I could be, like, sitting in my room being less productive. But this is basically adequated to all of this. And I, like, after that, I never talked to her again. And I was so confused. I'm just not thinking about it. Just, like, I got to think, like, about random shit right now. But it's like, that one was the one where I was like, hey, let's go out to this point and, like, have McDonald's. I'm like, okay. That was all her idea. I just kind of was the guy with the car. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. And that's basically how it went. Like, I never did anything wild with it. It's like, what the fuck?
Interesting.
Maybe the one time I said fuck in front of Peter's mom, I regretted that. That was funny.
You felt yourself on the trial.
I was. That's another good one. I don't got anything else right now.
Man, I have 3 stories I could share.
Go crazy.
So the first one, I'll go chronologically. The first one takes place probably a year after the balloon incident. Me and Mariah were playing in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And Colby was in ceramics class in high school. Mm-hmm. And he had made a ceramic bowl that we're using to scoop dog food. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember for what reason we did this, but me and Mariah had the dog food bowl, mm-hmm. and we're like trying to distract the dogs. And so we like scooped it with a little bit of food, mm-hmm. and we were going to like sprinkle the food to distract them so mm-hmm. we could do something. I can't remember what. I couldn't even begin to get into detail, but we did that. But the bowl slipped out of our hands and shattered on the ground. And we're like, oh no. So we didn't tell anybody about this for years. But we took all the scraps of the bowl and went in the field and buried it. And then
like it was a dead body.
Yeah, we did treat it like we killed someone. And because we were pretty sure Colby was going to be furious that this happened. I think he peed on you.
What do you mean?
I think the cat peed on you. He's very wet.
He did. He very much did. I just noticed the stain.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a cut here. I'll finish the story when I get back. I'm going to put him in his little pen so he can finish up.
I was like, wait, is it because you felt the cat or my pants? Because there's just this.
It was definitely both. Anyways, where was I? I think I was at the part that we were afraid of our lives being ended at Colby's hands.
Would he really have killed you?
I mean, we assumed so because he got very angry at us sometimes. So we're like, this might put him over the brink. So let's hide the evidence and tell absolutely no one. And we did. And when they asked where the dog scoop bowl was, we're like, don't know. Never heard of it. Never heard of a dog scoop bowl.
So what happened? What happened?
What happened?
What happened afterwards?
By the time we finally told people what happened, the statute of limitations was over and we had a new scoop, so it didn't matter.
You rat bastard. You got away with it.
We got away with it.
Got away with murder.
We did. We did.
I remember that one time back in 1969. I will not elaborate.
Okay.
I was a Zodiac killer all along.
You've done nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. All right. Do you have a story? Or should I keep going?
I think you should keep going because I can't. Okay. Wait a minute.
Let me share this one real quick because this one's not as serious. So
the bowl was serious.
No, the bowl wasn't serious, but I mean, yours sounds like it's going to be an actual one. So
hold on,
there's this time sophomore year, because you know how we always would walk to the dollar store and for snacks, and you had to leave your backpack at the front of the store to be able to go in. So there's this one time where we walk all the way back to the final turn where we're about to get back to the high school, and I go, oh crap, I forgot my bag at the dollar store.
You fucking idiot.
So I literally, this was probably the fastest and longest that I've sprint. I ran all the way back to the dollar store and all the way back. And I think we had like 5 minutes to get to class. And usually it takes our entire lunch to get from the high school to the dollar store and back. Literally, I think I was only 10 minutes late to Spanish class.
Nice job.
I literally was like, I sprinted all the way back to class, and I got in the classroom, and my Spanish teacher was like, oh, you're here. And I was like, I made it. And it was like February, so it was starting to get warm, and I was wearing a big jacket because it was cold in the morning, and it was just at that time when the sun was rising. So I was just sweating. I was like, I made it. I'm here.
Isn't that the class with what's your face in it too?
Yes.
I thought so. That's fucking funny though. You're just fucking.
Wait, which what's your face?
What's your face? And also, what's his face?
Yes, what's his face was in that class.
Exactly.
If by what's his face you mean Alberto, then yes.
No, I meant the other what's his face, but that might have been senior year. Did you take it more than once?
I took Spanish class 3 years: freshman year, sophomore year, and
sophomore
junior year. Sophomore year, I had it with Alberto. Junior year, I had it with Jarrett.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Can I tell my
completely
story?
Different. Yes, you can tell your story.
When Mr. Strophe called me a smart ass. I think I've told the story before, but I'll reiterate it once again.
Go over it again in detail.
I was in psychology class, right? Hanging out with Garrett, Ryan, whoever the fuck was in the fourth seat. I don't remember. And I was chilling, bro. Mm-hmm. Nothing new, nothing crazy. And I can't exactly remember to the date what exactly happened. But I remember Mr. Strophe had said something. And I had said to myself, what the fuck did I say? I can't exactly remember. But he had said something about the course of psychology. And I said, why don't you just do it the other way? And while looking down at his camera or his fucking Apple screen, you fuck. He had said in a very low tone, still audible to the rest of the class, smart ass. You smart ass. I then proceeded to look at him, look down back at my paper, look back at him, look down back at my paper, and I just was like, if I wasn't in school right now, you fucking dick. And I was just like, damn. Like, and Ryan's like in front of me, going, and he's pogging. And then Garrett to me is,
I literally could see Ryan's face.
He's pogging, right? He's pogging. And Garrett's to the left of me, or to the right of me, like, nah, man, he didn't mean it. You did like Garrett's.
Oh my god,
Garrett's trying.
Why can I literally picture these scene and like it's perfect as like these two people are acting exactly the way I expect them to.
And Garrett's like, no, man, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. And the girls that sat to the right of us, the last square in that row, were all like, oh my god, and they all started giggling and shit. And I just like, I felt so humiliated. I'm like, why? It was just supposed to be a throwaway comment. And you had to call me the smart ass? You son of a bitch. And like, I just sit there to this day and I just slightly regret it. Like, why didn't I just say, you're the one with glasses on, nerd? And I just never did. And I regret it to this day.
Yeah, I hate it.
And I also partially blame you guys in first period.
What?
Because I feel like there's a negative stigma attached to me.
No, of course not. Well, is that your only screw-up story?
Do I have another? I guess any time I was in the weight room trying to lift weights in front of the girls.
Oh, you're trying to impress them.
Some of the time. When none of the guys were around, I try to do that. But, of course, the stigma goes, women don't care about your muscles. It's only other men and gay men that care. So it never really mattered.
I guess so. Usually when I was in the weight room, I literally zoned out. I'd just be in my own head, just like... The only time other people would even enter my brain is if they're like, Caleb, want to lift us? And I'd just go, okay. Mm-hmm. Literally, I did not even think about how much weight people would put on. I'd just lift if they asked me to. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to. Sometimes I would. Sometimes I'd shock myself.
I'm trying to think of one more.
You don't have any crazy crush stories?
Crazy crush stories. Crazy crush stories. Oh, I have one.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
But I'm not going to say it because it's cringe and I regret it
you
so
have to, this is your confessional.
Okay. So I remember one time that with the woman that shall not be named.
Yes.
That I was just snapping her, right? Mm-hmm. And at one point she was going to Seattle to do something with her boyfriend at the time. I knew it was her boyfriend at the time. But trying to be the sly bastard I am was all like, who's that in the car with you? Like, or I said like, whose man? She was like, my man. So I was like, oh, really cool. I was like, mm-hmm. I just tried to be super cool about it. Just tried to keep on texting her as much as I could. And I kept going and going and going. And I'm all like, Why? Why was I wasting my time afterward trying to do that? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, you fucking weirdo. You fucking loser.
Oh, man. Poor high school Alex.
I'm 21 now. I knew
it's behind you.
It's behind me, but it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Could have done something else with your fucking life, you weirdo.
Yes, here's one. I'll compliment yours with one of my own. I'm gonna share this one because it's a funny one. But you were there. You were part of this one. You remember in so I'll explain this as a story to the audience. So in our English class junior year, we had an assignment based on. Do you remember what book? It was about the lion and the hunter. And the guy supposedly got shot by his wife in the story.
Is this in Bigwood's class?
Yeah, this is Bigwood's.
I don't remember the story, but yeah, I remember.
Okay, you remember that.
This.
So if anybody,
it's okay. Keep going.
If anybody remembers, if anybody knows that story, then you know what happens. So our brilliant teacher, Mr. Bigwood, he's honestly, I'll give him praise every time. Such a great teacher, because every time he had an assignment, there was always something cool with it. Yeah. And so his assignment for this story was we were going to have mock court trials on who one person would be the prosecution, one would be the defense, and we're trying to debate over whether or not this woman killed her husband in the story. And so me and Alex were the prosecution. And randomly during the during the sessions, we were supposed to be assigned.
I thought you were about to say sexment.
Sexment. During the sessions, we would be assigned a defense to go up against. And so, me with my bright brain thought, I think I know how I can make this very, very hilarious. But we came up with this plan, which didn't ultimately end up panning out the way I thought it would. But we did end up going up against our buddies Dallas and Ben. And I think that alone would have made just for a hilarious trial. But I decided to go with the ultimate hilarity of there's these two girls in our class who were very attracactive. And I decided as a joke, I would call one of them to the stand.
No, I remembered.
Because in the story, there's a point where the wife, I think, kisses the safari guide, right? And so I call her to the stand, and I say, as the prosecuting lawyer, I go, so are you aware of the point in the trial? You're aware with the events that happened in this trial, correct? And so you're aware of the point where the Miss whatever her face was gave a kiss to the safari guide, correct? And she's like, yeah. I was like, would you be able to demonstrate that on me right now in this courtroom?
God damn
and the whole class just bursts out laughing.
Oh, fuck me.
It was such a hilarious moment, but I do say that I screwed up because, man, oh man, did I not think that she would be so embarrassed by that.
God fucking damn it.
I was like, oh, man.
I just had to sit there and just take this all in. Like, don't get me wrong, I was laughing during it too, but in hindsight, I came out of that, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It was too surreal for Alex. In hindsight, I think it would have actually been more funny if I asked Dallas to do it.
And he would have.
He would have, which would have made it even more funny. So if I had the amount of comedy knowledge that I do now, I think it would have been even more hilarious.
Jesus Christ, dude.
So I don't regret the joke, but I do regret I did screw up on the execution of the joke.
Oh, I'm starting to remember things.
But
now.
Man, like I don't feel good about it, but man, every guy in that class was like, respect to you, man, for the rest of that year.
We're all misogynists. And Jesus Christ, dude.
I was like, man, I wasn't actually meaning it. It was just a joke.
Nah, bro, it was just supposed
to be a funny.
Dude.
I was playing what people I don't think really understood a lot of the times when we did stuff like that in class is I was more playing a role to fit
the
characters. So I was playing a sleazy lawyer. And so therefore I was going to do something sleazy on the stands.
I don't even remember what I fucking did after that. I can't.
I think you were just in shock that I actually went through with the plan.
I don't think you even told me. You just did it.
No, we did. We wrote it into our script.
Oh, fuck, we did.
Because I was like, Alex, this is just too hilarious.
I thought you were going to do it.
To be just the most a-hole lawyer.
Jesus Christ, dude. You know what? That also kind of reminds me, like, so this is just goes in general of how dumb I was in high school. But like anytime I was around any of my crushes, like I would always try to play a character. And like there's not one specific story, but I remember the one time Andy was gassing me up in AP history. It was AP history?
Yeah. With Frederick.
Yeah. And like, yeah, Alex, you should be over here. You don't know how bad I wanted to go to the other side. You don't know how bad I wanted to prove a point to myself. But there was a part of me that just said, if you were to get up right now, you fucking weirdo, you'd seem like the biggest douchebag ever. Simp. And I just never went with it.
See, because you were always meant to be on the funny side. The fact that Andy and Theo betrayed us is telling of their character.
Bastards.
Jackson
calling my head too fucking big. Why your fucking head so big? Why are you so small? Why no one loves you?
What was funny too is why was Jackson even sitting in the back seats?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that class was so funny though. Our side of the room was just clowns. Nate, oh my gosh.
Okay, this isn't my embarrassing story. Oh no, it kind of is. I think I did hand this to Frederick. I remember sitting next to Nathan. I think one of these days. I don't think you were there. Okay, it was orderly different.
Okay.
And I remember Nathan sitting or sleeping, and I could have woke him up and like, yo, wake the fuck up, because Frederick's an asshole. He'll do something to you. And
I remember this. This is when we were taking the test.
Yep. And I didn't wake him up at all. And I just was like, I'll just let him, because before then me and him had PE together, so I knew what he was going through. He just ran a mile and like did a whole bunch of workouts. So I was like, I'll let him do his thing. Because
I remember Frederick had it set up where we sat by like name or something. Because I remember sitting behind Caitlin.
Oh, you're remembering a different story then.
Oh really?
No,
this happened multiple times.
Yeah, where he would just fall asleep. And Frederick had a water bottle filled with water.
And he warned us about this from the beginning of the year.
And he just went at Nathan. So this is what makes it different from the other times. It took him a while to wake up. And I remember his hair getting all wet. And I went, Nathan, wake up. He went, oh! And then he feels his hair. It took him a couple seconds. Why is my hair wet? And then he just looks in front of him. He just looks at Mr. Frederick. Oh,
what was funny is
my bad, dog.
I feel like Mr. Frederick and Nate had like this love-hate relationship the whole year. And I think the moment that Nate was the one to fall asleep in that class was the happiest day of Frederick's life.
Real.
He's like, I've been waiting for this.
Like, he kept on just going. I'm like, dog, you're giving him a shower. What was the one you were remembering with the test?
Because I'm pretty sure that was the same time that we had to go in early that day. And so we're all sitting in that class because we had to go in early for those state like tests that they were doing. And the class we had to go to was Frederick's class. I don't remember why.
I don't think I did those.
No, you were there because we went to Taco Bell afterwards.
We did.
Our whole group.
Yeah.
Because we had like a whole hour in between and our next classes.
Yeah, we did. Never mind.
Because it was supposed to be a study day for our AP tests.
I never took any of those. I think Nathan too. None of us took those tests, and we're like, nope.
Well, this isn't a screwed up moment, but I kind of regret it. But in school, when I started taking AP classes, I think somehow my name got switched with another Caleb Perez that was also attending the school district, because they said I was on free and reduced lunch, but I didn't actually qualify for free and reduced lunch because my parents make good money. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to take the AP test because I just can't afford it and I know I'll fail. And then they're like, no, it says right here you're on free and reduced lunch. And I'm like, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, you are. Here you go. You can take the test for free now. I was like,
I never even said yes, bitch.
I was like, okay, I guess I'll take the test for free. It doesn't mean I'll pass, but I guess if I get a free shot at it, then why not?
What'd you score?
I think I always got just below passing.
Darn.
That's what made me hate those big league artists, because it was like I made what a lot of people would enjoy as art, but they didn't like it.
Here's a question. What do you think ever happened to those people in all those classes that we took?
The AP classes?
Because, like, I had an example. I think Jackson might watch the podcast. Like, Jackson was an AP student. He did all those things. And the only thing I know of his character is he flies planes and serves at Enzo's.
Yeah.
Like, in hindsight, like, you would think, if you went to those AP classes, you must have been smart. And I'm like, no, not really. That the whole thing, Hoffines or somebody said, like, you guys will average better than the average person. And I just look at all the people that I know still of. I'm like, I think we're all fine here.
I think they all are about above average.
Slightly. Maybe, like, not career-wise, but maybe, like, character-wise, they're, like, doing better.
I think at least 90% of us have put, like, actual goals into mind after high school.
Even if they don't look like they're working, they still, like, are good. I don't know. I think I was kind of unique in all those AP classes in a way, because it's like, I never took the test. I just was there for the studying and stuff and, like, being there because...
I just was there because they told me to.
I just did it just out of funsies.
Like, Val always gets mad when I say this, but literally when I took the normal classes, I was always getting... Like, when I took...
You felt smarter than everybody else in the room.
It wasn't that I felt smarter, is that I was grading way higher than everybody else, which I didn't understand. I was like, I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum. And, like, in Vega's class for, I think it was just world history,
Junior.
I literally left that class, end of the year, with 102%. And I was like, how? How do I have 102% in world history?
I couldn't fucking.
And I took AP classes, and I started just getting C's and B's, baby.
Let's go.
I was like, yeah, this seems more about accurate.
It's just like in retrospective, like taking those classes and what like all those AP teachers said, I'm all like, the only difference I see here are creatives and nerds.
That's true. And then there's the idiots who just follow their smart friends into those classes.
And it was perfect.
It was perfect.
You don't take AP classes in public schooling to get anywhere. You take AP classes to have fun.
AP stats was literally the perfect example of this. Because you had smart people.
Like, I remember the story you once told me where it's just all like you was and you're just like, I need help. What do you need help with? She'd be like, okay, I'll read.
That's a whole story on its own. Hold on, let me explain it. Let me explain it. Let me explain it. I don't think I've explained this on the podcast before, but I will.
Have you not?
I think I haven't. I don't think so. If I have, then you already know what I'm about to say. But if I haven't, then
I think you have.
This is for all of you who haven't heard the story. So AP stats, I was not doing good in because didn't understand it for one.
I love this
for
story.
Two, I'd basically fall asleep in that class every single day because I'd be working at Arby's until midnight and doing
the Arby's Chronicles
and doing AP homework until 3 a.m. And then getting up at 6. So 3 hours of sleep every day, taking a nap in AP stats. And we get to a point in the year, I have to say we're about I think we're about 10 chapters in, and my stats teacher notices that people aren't really grading very well in that class. So she decides to have kind of like a intervention day where people can kind of try to catch up and like try to learn. And I guess since Alex said her name, it's too funny. It's too funny. She was arguably the smartest person in that class. Or
smartest person in the fucking grade.
In the grade, I think she did receive an award for being like one of the highest GPAs in the grade. And so me and the usual suspects that you'd expect went straight to her.
And it's not the usual suspects. It's just okay, how do I say this? Why were those people in AP?
The people like me who like
you're a usual suspect. The other motherfuckers, I would have never guessed.
I guess I'm the usual.
Why are you here?
I think at least a few of them did follow their homies and girlfriends into that class.
Oh, Jesus
and so Christ. we all went over there, and I'm like, she's like, okay, so I think that this was literally the people who did not understand, because Jarrett was fine. Jarrett and all those other guys were fine in their corner, nerds. And then there's all the smart girls in another corner. And while all of us went to for like help, and then she's like, all right, so I guess where do you guys need help? And I was like, do you remember about 5 chapters ago? Let's start there.
What did I do?
It's just showing that it's loud.
Okay,
but yeah.
Oh my fucking god, I love that. And what was her face like? This is my favorite part of the story.
She's just like, just like,
I love this.
I don't know if it was disappointment or shock, but she was feeling probably a combination of both at the fact that I actually was that far behind, because I did not understand anything past chapter 3 back in like October, and we were in like January, and I was just gone. I had no idea.
I can visualize her whole expression just being
yeah. And then all the other guys in the group, yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh god, I love that fucking story so much. And you know what? I relate to it in a weird sense. Not on your part, on her part. Because in Photoshop class with Robertson, everybody would come up to me like, how the fuck you do that? I'd be like, oh.
What's funny is that class was easy. All you had to do was click and find stuff out.
Oh yeah.
Stats, you have to like actually be like, maybe this number means this number, but there's about a 99% chance that it doesn't mean this number, so I have to do another calculation to make sure that calculation's correct. And if that calculation's not correct, I got to go back 3 steps and start from the very beginning and do a whole other type of statistical equation, and I just started getting lost. The only thing that actually started bringing me back is when my teacher brought in the Lucky Charms. That was literally like the saving grace of my education in that class. Was she brought in the Lucky Charms experiment, and from that moment, I think like the Lucky Charms like stimulated something in my brain for the remainder of the year that we had left, and
what the fuck was that?
I learned a little bit more statistics than I had that entire year. There's a fly.
I saw that. It scared me. It scared me. Wow.
I did better in statistics in college, though.
Good for you. Fist bump.
I think I got like high A in that class.
Attaboy.
I think AP classes are just harder. And the AP classes was just a whole screwed up moment. I screwed up by even taking those. My GPA would have been so much higher.
Oh yeah. No, they're fucking. You don't take AP classes to actually do work. You take AP classes to have fun.
True. That is true. That was the
one thing I've learned from dating my girlfriend, and the things I've learned, it doesn't matter if you get a D or an A, sweetheart. As long as you get that fucking paper.
That piece of paper is all that matters.
They don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. And in the business world, it doesn't matter how smart you are, because the dumber you are, the guy up on top probably wants you more because he can manipulate you. He can
manipulate your tiny, feeble brain.
So it doesn't matter. If I'm the smartest person, if you think you're the smartest person in the room, newsflash, bitch, you're going nowhere.
The one thing I can say I did not screw up on is I chose not to attend a 4-year university right out of high school.
I took a 4-year university coming out of high school.
No,
coming out of university. I have no idea what to do with my life. And the 4+ years of me doing this college degree is catching up on me. And now I've become severely depressed.
And now I'm in debt for the rest of my life.
And there's not even a chance I find the job I was looking for during high school.
It's very true.
And university.
That's why you always keep your options open.
And your dreams always on the cutthroat edges. I couldn't say edges. Do you genuinely think most of those people that we went to high school with that went to universities actually got their job?
Well, a lot of them I don't think are finished yet.
Do you think they will get a job though?
I'm sure about maybe 25% will get exactly what they're looking for.
Lucky bastards.
And that might be highballing it, because within 4 years of studying one thing, I guarantee you most of these people have realized that one thing they've put their entire life into is not actually what they want to do.
And you know what the fucked up part is? Sometimes they don't switch because they're afraid, and they still have to do it. And then they're never satisfied for the rest of their life.
Yep. So we'll talk about this next week, because we're getting an old classic back on the podcast, but always very much keep your options open and always think towards the future.
God, I'd love to talk about this right now, because that's what I've been dealing with for a while.
Next week's episode.
God damn it. It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger. So yeah, I guess that's about it for this week's
I got peed on in a podcast.
You got peed on in a podcast about you sharing your I screwed up moments.
Mine weren't that crazy. Mine were pretty tame. Because I couldn't fucking think of anything.
I guess.
I love that fucking story, though. Yeah, about 5 chapters behind. All the other guys. Yeah, it's about the same. Huh? It always gets to me.
Oh my gosh. I even had to write my stats teacher like an apology letter at the end of the year. Because she made like an assignment, like our final assignment for that class was to write thank you letters to like 2 teachers that really like influenced our high school career. And I sent a third one to her because I was like, I'm sorry that I always fell asleep in your class. It had nothing to do with you. I was just tired.
We've grown up, right?
Do you ever really grow up? Or do you more or less just hone in on the values that you have always had?
Man.
Anyways, I'm a little hungry. And I kind of want to pet my kitten again.
The one that pissed on me?
Yeah. Congratulate him for doing such a good job this episode.
Fucking assholes, man.
Oh, man. Do you have anything else you'd like to share as we wind down?
Should I give the infamous how I got my girlfriend story?
Sure. Is that a I screwed up moment?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to listen to it?
Yeah, that can be our...
I don't think I've actually ever told you this story.
Yeah,
Mr. Horny's class, senior year. I was in the first row. Like closest to the door.
This man, a senior, taking geometry in senior year.
On her point, she was also a class down. So, funny enough, it worked out, asshole. Anyway, I'm bad at math when it doesn't involve anime characters. I'm like a speedrunner. I can figure out parallel universes in Mario 64. Quantum physics, no go. But I'm in the first row. I think I'm, I don't know, second or third seat in that first row, closest to the door to the right. And I'm sitting there, right? Oblivious to anything. Pants on, sweater strapped.
Pants on? I'd hope so. You're in class.
I know. Because at one point I thought I was dreaming. And I'm just there chilling on my phone, doing nothing of the sort. Then all of a sudden, the chick in front of me, out of nowhere, that completely befuddled me. This is probably like maybe a week or two in. Mm. And I'm just chilling on my phone, doing nothing, probably listening to like the Black Panther album. The first one that came out, because it was really good. Yeah. But regardless of the fact, I'm just chilling. And all of a sudden, this girl does a 180 in front of me and says, "Hi." I was befuddled. I didn't know what to do. I was unprepared. And I go, hi? Little did I know it would be my current girlfriend. 3 years ago. It's 4 years ago now.
That was in 2019 that happened?
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, 4.
Oh, it was 4 years ago. Oh, God. As this girl is talking to me. No, I don't specifically remember what she asked me afterwards. But I knew, with my simple guy brain, that girls don't do that. People don't do that without motive. And my brain went, no, this might be crazy, other Alexes in the current brain. But I think she might like you. And no, my girlfriend, Nat, looks very pretty. She looked pretty back then. And I go, what am I supposed to do with this current information? And guess what I did?
Nothing.
Wrong. I actually got her Snapchat the next day.
Oh.
Then I did nothing for 4 years.
Nice.
Little old me was still wrapped up with a woman that will not be named. And I regret that so much, as I wasted so much time doing nothing. But 4 years now, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I text her. Because of course the guy joke is the girl, like, of course I'm gonna reference a meme here. Girls will be like, oh, he probably doesn't remember me. It's been like 20 years. The boyfriend. I remember this chick from high school. It's been like 50 years, man. I still remember to this day the compliments or the compliment meme. But it was kind of like that. I'm all like, I regret that decision of not talking to her. I have her Snapchat. Never really did anything with it. I text her maybe every once in a while, just adding a comment to her story like it's fucking Twitter. And I said to myself, I never really burnt down that bridge. I still kind of like her. She was cute. Why don't I try again? No, I didn't tell Caleb any of this. Not even this portion of the story. And I just talked to her in private. And now I've been dating her for going to be 6 months now.
Very nice.
And it's going pretty darn well. So eventually, it was the greatest regret of my life. Eventually turning out to be one of the
It all turned out good in the end.
It did. And then I remember when I said, oh, I'm going on a date. And this motherfucker at, I don't know, midnight went, huh? You didn't tell me? That was funny.
This man kept me in the dark so much, and all I did was support him this entire time.
I was going through my Batman arc, man. I had to keep it all in the shadows.
All I did was support, and I was busy trying to wrap 35 presents before Christmas. And this man decides to be like, you know what? I'm going to tell everyone except for my best friend.
I actually didn't really tell anybody.
You posted it on Twitter.
But that was for everybody.
I should have heard before Twitter. Now I'm mad again. I'm angry and upset. And I'm remembering geometry class being the exact opposite of statistics for me. I'd fall asleep every day in that class, and I'd wake up for the test and get 100% on it. And I remember all the girls sitting around me were always so mad because I'd get 100% on the tests when I wouldn't even be awake in class.
You just absorb the knowledge through the listening. It's be like a podcast.
I did. That was normal classes for me. I'd absorb that knowledge and get it. AP classes, I was in between being a complete idiot and a super genius, and I planted myself right in between that somehow. So I was both incredibly stupid and incredibly skillful in solving equations.
Crouching moron, hidden badass. But yeah, I think that's probably one of my biggest regret stories, where it's just like, damn, two girls actually paid attention to me, and I didn't give her the light of day,
and I messed it up. But now it's reconciled.
It is, and she's hot as fuck. Good job, past Alex, for getting her Snapchat.
There you go. He did the work.
Also, thank you for texting me back when she eventually watches this, because she does watch the podcast. That's the thing I think past Alex didn't recognize till like after high school. If they don't text you back in an evenly order, stop texting them. They're not worth it, bud. Stop wasting your time.
True. That is true.
Jesus fucking Christ. I get sometimes I don't text Caleb, but Caleb knows I see his text messages. I just don't reply.
He just hates me.
No, I just read them and go, okay, he knows. Caleb knows this about me.
Do I?
Like, he sends texts at me at 3 a.m. I'm reading them at 3 a.m. I don't respond, but he knows I read them. I'm like Batman. Like, the bat signal goes off. Jim Gordon's like,
where's Batman?
I'm here. Just tell me. The Joker's on 35th Street, or 35th Street. Okay, I'll get back. Like, that's all I need to know. I don't have to say anything. In that example, I did say something, but it could be like, Joker's on 35th Street, and then you just hear the flap of his cape. Like, okay, well, he's gone now. Batman? You were here? That's what basically how our text messages go.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm Batman. You're like Jim Gordon.
Yeah, I'll be Gordon. I'll be Commissioner Gordon.
Joker's poisoned the water hole.
Joker's poisoned the water hole.
Jim.
Yeah.
Well, about it.
That's a good last story to wrap up this episode.
Batman's a good last story to wrap up the episode?
No, you dummy. That wasn't even a story. That was just an analogy.
It's a good analogy, though.
I'm sick of you.
Oh, Batman.
Anyways, I guess Alex got his last word. My last word is tune in next week. And just be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to share the podcast as much as possible so we can start getting paid for this. Because money's good and important in this.
It's not good. It's just a necessary evil.
It's a necessary thing that I need to put food on my plate.
Real.
But yeah, anyways. That's it for this week. See you next week.
Deuces,
Peace
losers.